when I say, bitch, I'm Dionté. You know that I'm gon' slay. Still young like a baby. Upload and you hit play. Cause bitch, I'm Dionté. Bitch, I'm Dionté. Bitch, I'm Dionté. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of The Queendom. Yes, my solo podcast featuring me, Dionté. If this is your first time hearing my voice, then welcome. If it is not, then you are probably already familiar with me, either through social media, through my music, or a previous podcast that I was co-hosting with a friend of mine known as Double Dose. Now, I just want to quickly address Double Dose really quickly. This podcast is not to replace Double Dose. Double Dose is currently on a hiatus, but Shav and I are currently trying to figure out how to continue the series. So just in case we cannot figure something out, because, you know, Miss Rona is really stopping everything. In case we cannot figure something out, then the Queendom will still be here. It will just be me rather than me and Shav. But don't worry, Double Dose fans, Double Dose is not going out like that. Now, for those of you who may not know who I am, this first episode is pretty much to serve as an introductory episode, pretty much so that y'all can try to get to know me as best as I can explain in words, because you cannot get to know a single person in half an hour to an hour. That is something that comes with years. So hopefully y'all will be with me throughout these couple months, hopefully years, and y'all will be able to get to know me a little bit better. But to kind of condense things, make it a little more simpler to digest, well then, just sit back, turn your headphones up, and we can get started. Now, like I said before, my name is Dionté. I am currently, I just wrapped up my junior year semester. I am a college student, which is another reason why the previous podcast just was not working, because both of our college schedules, planning classes and things like that, it just kind of threw a loop and everything. But I'm a college student, just finished up my junior year, and I will be a senior coming this fall. I attend the University of the Arts in Philadelphia. Yes, I live in Philly, born and raised up north in the ghetto. So if you hear some random ass voices in the background, I will try my best to conceal it and hide it out. But child, I live in the hood and people are loud. Okay? All right. Anyway, so I currently attend University of the Arts. I am a film and video production major, and I minor in music business, entrepreneurship, and technology. Now, a common question that I get asked a lot is, what made you choose film? Well, it's not that I give two shits about film and cinema. I mean, I enjoy movies, but I did not enter the major to try to pursue a career in the film industry. That's just not my gig. I entered film, originally, let's just backtrack a little bit. Originally, because I attended a arts high school known as Kappa, Creative and Performing Arts. And originally, I was a visual arts major, you know, drawing, painting, that kind of gig. But once I entered the major, I've quickly realized that was not what I wanted to do. I said, this is not for me. I'm tired of having to sharpen these pencils. I'm tired of having to clean off these brushes. These lines ain't coming out right. You know, trying to come up with concepts on the fly is way different than tracing a little cartoon through the paper. Y'all have all done it. We have all done it. Put the little paper on top of the picture and traced it on the lines. Yes, way harder than that. So sophomore year, I was like, okay, I don't want to leave this school, but I definitely do want to leave this major. And since it's an art school, you can't be in an art school without having a set major. So around that time, it just so happened that there was a new major forming known as MDTV, which was essentially film and graphic design, which graphic design was originally part of the visual arts major, but they were taking the film curriculum from the theater kids and the graphic design curriculum from the arts kids and putting them together into their own major known as media design television. Child, I know it don't make no sense, but that's what it was. And a lot of the arts majors got automatically switched into that major. I was not one of the lucky ones to get automatically switched. So my junior year is when I officially made the switch to MDTV, and that's how I became a film major. So when it came time to apply for colleges, I just stayed in that major because it was what I knew at that point. Now, of course, looking back on things, like I would have been better suited for something more in the performing arts rather than the production side of things. I would have preferred to have been a musical theater kid or something along those lines. But at that point in time, I was just not comfortable enough in my performance abilities to be able to take on something like that. Because I knew going into a major like that would require me to remember lines, remember choreography, kind of pick that stuff up on the spot. And even still to this day, I am not too good at that. I can remember my own lines, my own choreography, my own lyrics, etc., etc. But picking that stuff up from other people on the fly, no ma'am. It's just not happening, at least not successfully. Not in a timely manner. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to stick with what I have been doing for the past 2 years, meaning junior and senior year, and just kind of figure things out as I go. And to this day, I am still a film major. Now, while I was doing film, I knew that I kind of wanted to get into music. Originally, it started off with just little parodies, little funny things. I had released what is known as Pat That Weave, which is iconic down at Kappa. And from Pat That Weave, that blossomed into more original music. That's what led to Hakuna Matata and pretty much where we are today. So since I was doing music, I used the film curriculum and used their equipment and stuff to film my music videos. And I knew from that point forward that I didn't necessarily want to enter the film industry, but I did want to kind of stay in the major so that I can continue to grow as far as my music videos were concerned. I'm a very visual person. One of my biggest inspirations is Missy Elliott, and y'all know Missy is known for giving you concepts and visuals, and I was like, I need to be on that level. So I saw fit that I stay in this major so that I can continue to grow visually. So, let me silence my phone, child. Anyway, so here we are today. I'm now in college, and I took up the minor music business so that I can not only know what I'm doing behind the camera, in front of the camera, but also know what I'm doing behind the scenes on the business side of things, so that I am not making no kind of shady deals, no nothing like that. Because although I do music for the fun of it, I love doing it, I also take it seriously as well. I know I'm a Capricorn. I have this very business mindset. I see the goal. I think further ahead than most people. And I know that if I ever were to blow up, then I need to know what I'm doing. I'm not trying to have 1,000 managers, 1,000 publicists, all in my ear. Like, no, I kind of want to know what I'm already doing so that I don't have to rely on other people. That's one thing I don't like doing. I do not like relying on other people. And as long as I know what I'm doing on my own, I ain't got to have too many people on my payroll. Okay? All right. All right. Now, enough about school and all that. Let's get back into me. More so identity-wise. Since y'all can't actually see me, you're just listening to my voice. Let me tell you about who I am. So I am a black, not 6 foot. The doctors try to tell me that I'm 6 foot, but I know damn well I am not no 6 foot. I'm like 5'11" at the most. But I'm a black 5'11" male, okay, gender non-conforming, which I will get into that a little later on. But I am homosexual, if you could not tell by the child, I can't talk. I'm gonna be on a podcast and I can't talk. Enunciation of my words. There we go. Because we is not going back and editing. Nope, we gonna keep it pushing. By the enunciation of my words, my dialect, etc., etc. I am not only homosexual, but I am also a bit demisexual. For those who may not be familiar with the term, demisexuality, well, as far as when it comes to me, because it's different for everyone. So for me, I cannot have sex with people that I do not have some sort of vibe with. I always tell people, if I don't fuck with you, I can't fuck with you. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope it does, because that's the best way that I can explain it. If I do not sit down, have a conversation with somebody, connect with them on some sort of emotional level, not saying catching feelings, because child, No, I do not catch feelings easily. I don't even show feelings and emotions that easily. So, but I have to connect with them on some sort of level in order for anything to go inside of anything. Because other than that, the walls close tight and it is not going to work. Now, thanks to Miss Rona bumping into town, none of that has even really mattered lately. Being on this quarantine, I have been cut off, and child, it ain't been easy. It has not been easy. But it is okay, because I feel like we are all getting used to this new world, this new way of working and things. Working in quarantine has been both beneficial and detrimental. Since the quarantine started, right when the quarantine started, I was in the middle of production for one of my music videos. And once they shut down the school, that cut off access to all of the film equipment, all of the locations and things like that. So I could not finish the video fully the way I wanted to. But I still edited together what I had and released it. Bada bing, bada boom. More stories on that coming later. See, I'm sitting here giving y'all all these teases. Ciao. But anyway, since quarantine, the more positives, a lot of the organizations and things that I volunteer for, they've been compensating us good, girl. Definitely been getting a lot more coins since being stuck inside, which I am not complaining about. It just means that I can't go out and spend it. I gotta rely on Amazon. But that's all fine and dandy. Since being in quarantine, I've been able to flex my creative muscles a little bit more. I actually had time to finish my album since I didn't have to worry about school too much. I have actually been able to finish a lot of the edits on future projects, which y'all will see on my YouTube channel. All links in the description. I don't know if they have descriptions on Spotify and Apple Mew and all whatever the hell you listening to this on, but the link will be somewhere, child. I'll figure out a way. But yes, since I do everything at home anyways, because of quarantine, I just had more time at home to be able to sit down, finish recording all the lyrics, all the vocals, rewrite some things where needed. And yeah, I was able to push that out. So Dear Diary is available everywhere to go stream and listen if you have not done so already. And if you already have, go stream it again, because child, I could use the streams. But anyway, what else about me? Let's get into some hobbies. You know, I feel like that is the one thing that a lot of people connect with first when they meet in person. I know myself personally, when I first introduce myself to someone, I'd be like, okay, so what do you like to do? What do you get into? So that I can see if we kind of connect on some sort of common ground, if we have anything in common. So let me tell you a little bit about what I like to do. Besides music and music videos, etc., besides the business side of things, I'm a really chill person. I consider myself an extroverted introvert, okay, if that makes any sense, because I know Capricorns get this rap of being very introverted into themselves because we chase the bag. But I am one of the more interesting Capricorns, if I do say so myself. I like to party. I actually like to socialize, but I do have a social battery. As much as I like to go out and party, etc., after a while, I do get a little tired of people, and I'd be like, all right, let's go. But I'm usually the last person to actually want to go home. I can say that, and anyone who has went out with me can attest to that. I'm usually the very last person who wants to go home. It's usually everyone else that has to drag me home. Who in the hell out there with these ATVs and things? Told y'all, the ghetto. Anyway, but yes, when I'm not at home, I like to go out. I like to go to the club, get me a little drink. My favorite drinks include vodka, Bacardi, light liquor. I don't fuck with the brown shit because it makes me shit. Just to put it blunt and out there. Like, I love E&J, but that shit has me on the toilet, and I try to stay away from it if I'm going out, because you never know who I may be going home with. Okay? Anyway, what else? When I am in the house, besides when I'm not doing music, I'm usually playing a game. I'm a huge gamer, not like one of those real hardcore Johns that be playing like the little NBA and Grand Theft Auto, you know, all the typical boy games. I don't get into those. I'm not good at sports at all. I suck at sports in real life and in video games. As far as the shooting games is concerned, I can't play any shooting games where they're shooting back at me. So I try to play Fortnite, but I got to play a little team John so I can come back to life, because I cannot survive too long out there on my own. I do play Call of Duty, but I only play Call of Duty Zombies because zombies can't shoot. What else? I'm more casual. I play Just Dance because I am a dancer. Before the music, I am a dancer first. So all my shows include a lot of choreography and a lot of that dance confidence. A lot of that dance confidence and ability that the stamina that all came from playing Just Dance for the past 10 years, because I've been playing it since the very first one, 2009. I will never forget it, and I still have all of them. I've been buying every Just Dance game every year since 2009. So Just Dance is my shit. You know what else is my shit? Mortal Kombat. I love violence and gore. Yes, I'm a spooky bitch on the low. Real spooky. Go stream spooky bitches. Yes, I'm dead serious. That's one of my songs. Halloween bop. Anyway, I love Mortal Kombat. I really get into fighting games. That's the most hardcore, quote unquote, that I will get. I love Mortal Kombat, Tekken. I suck at Street Fighter. I get into Injustice. Anything of that nature. As far as the more casual shit, got the Nintendo, your little Mario, your Pac-Man, your Crash Bandicoot. Yes, I can be real old school. I love the simple platformers. I try to get into the more adventure type games too, like Tomb Raider, Kingdom Hearts, but eventually I get to a point where I get lost and I'm just like, okay, child, I don't know where to go. These little NPCs is not doing it for me. They're not giving me enough information. This map is not doing enough for me. I was just playing Tomb Raider last night, got stuck in the same spot for over an hour because I could not find that guy. You know what? It's a whole nother conversation for another day. Anyway, if I'm not playing the game, I watch a lot of YouTube. I don't watch as many movies for say because I have a really short attention span, believe it or not. Even when I'm watching short little YouTube videos, I always have to be doing something as I'm watching the YouTube video. But I watch a lot of YouTube. And when it do come to movies, I watch a lot of horror movies. I love blood, violence, gore. So horror movies, specifically supernatural genres, because ghosts are the only thing that scare me. For real. Everyone else is scared of fucking spiders and water or whatever the hell. I just don't like ghosts. I do not fuck with the paranormal. Okay, even Casper can get this step in too, because I'm not fucking with it. If it's dead and it's still here, it do not belong in my presence. I have actually had a few paranormal encounters myself, which I believe I may have spoken about on Double Dose, but just in case I did not and you do not feel like backtracking, I will be telling those stories eventually too. Trust me, I got stories for days. My life is crazy. Now, like I said, I am more introverted. I've always been that way. Now that I think about it, like ever since I was a child, didn't have too many friends, not because people didn't like me, but just I didn't like people. People always flocked to me, but I just never really wanted to be around people. And I can honestly say that the main reason for that, why I didn't really want to be around other people, was because I was concealing my sexuality and I was always really feminine. And people would clock me real quick. So to just avoid the questions, avoid any potential bullying, I just strayed away from people, or I just hung around girls, because girls are way more accepting than boys, especially younger ones, because kids can be ruthless. But anyway, more introverted. When I'm not doing anything that I mentioned before, I like the color. Believe it or not, I like to sit down with one of my little adult coloring books and my hundreds of Sharpies. Yes, I have a whole bunch of Sharpies. I don't know how I acquired so many, because I know I didn't pay for any of them. So I don't remember where I stole them from or how I got so damn many, but I have over 100 Sharpies in 100 different colors, and I sit there with my little adult coloring book and I color. I don't always finish them, because like I said, I have a very short attention span. I can only do it but for so long, but eventually I'll come back and I'll finish it and I'll put it up on my wall. So if you ever watch one of my any of my videos, YouTube videos, whatever, and you see all the little mandala looking things on the wall, yeah, those are all from my little coloring book. I don't draw that shit. Like I said, I removed myself from that major because it was not my forte. Now, I want to kind of touch on my social life because, like I said, Back in the day, I used to try to avoid people. Nowadays, I'm more social. Like I said, I'm like an extroverted introvert. So when I connect with people, I usually gravitate towards people who are also a little more introverted like myself, because I know that they won't do too much. I don't like people that draw a lot of attention to me, because I draw enough attention to myself just being myself. If you've seen me out on the street, you know I'm this real skinny. When I wear my heels, I'm like 6 foot something, beat face, everything. Like, I draw enough attention to myself as is. So I never want to draw any kind of negative attention to myself. I try to stay away from drama. I do not like it. I don't like unnecessary drama. I will sip some tea though. I will sip someone else's tea, but I do not want to be the flavor of the tea, if you catch my drift. If I'm going to give you anything to talk about, child, I'm going to have you talking about the positive. Have you talking about my music. Have you talking about my personality. Have you talking about things that will not make me look bad in any sort of way. And if it is something that makes me look bad, it's because it looks bad to you. Because I am very unapologetic. That's another thing. But anyway, I tend to gravitate towards people who also are creatives. I like the idea of collaborating with other people. I don't do it too often because, like I said, I work better alone, but I like seeing people who have some sort of creative drive, because it shows that they could potentially help me. That's another thing. I tend to gravitate towards people who I see, because like I said, I have like this business mindset. I can't help it. I don't do it intentionally, but I gravitate towards people who can benefit me in some sort of way. That sounds so wrong, but it's true. A lot of my friends, they are creatives. They are people who I can go to have another point of view, that, what is the term? Like outside eyes, fresh eyes. That's what I'm looking for. People that I can go to with fresh eyes, who will give me honest feedback, constructive criticism, things that I can actually use. I don't like brown nosers. I don't like fake people. People just telling me what I want to hear. I don't like that. I can see right through that. Okay, I feel like as a Capricorn, I see right through people's bullshit. I see it really quickly. I may not call you out on it at first, but if it gets to a certain point where it is affecting me directly, child, best believe you finna get checked. Especially if you're one of my friends. If you are one of my friends, any of my friends can tell you this, I will check you with the quickness. The quickness. You may not like me for it, but you know what I'm saying is the truth. You know I'm saying it with good intentions. That's another thing about me. I can be really blunt. Not like mean blunt, because I do have a filter. Because like I said, that's where my introvertedness comes in. I do have a filter. I think about what I say before I say it. So if I am saying something to you and it seems hurtful, best believe I thought long and hard on whether or not I should say it to you. And I'm saying it because you need to hear it, okay? With that being said, I have a very small circle. I do not like having a lot of friends, because I see that as more people being up in my business, and I'm a very private person. So I have a very small circle of people that I fuck with and trust. Then I have like an extended social circle, people that I interact with when I'm with other people, people that I will attend parties with, go to functions with, etc., etc. People that I will invite to a party maybe, but not people that I would just sit down with and, play a game with cards as if we good Judies. No, not on that type level. And then I have an even extended circle of people that I consider that like my network circle, where our relationship is mainly strictly business. We may be friendly, but I see you not as one of my friends. I see you as one of my associates. You may not know that you are in that circle, but just know there's a possibility that you may be in my network circle. And that's okay. That's okay. Because that tells you that I trust you on some sort of level. If I'm working with you, if I see you as someone that I can work with, there's a level of trust there. So don't be offended. Now, like I said, I like to avoid drama, and I keep my circle so small in an attempt to avoid that drama. But even within small circles, there can be drama. And I'm not going to get into that drama right now today. But what I can say is that when that drama does erupt, I am usually one of the voices of reason. I don't think I'm ever the cause of the drama. Never that. Never the cause of the drama. I may be one of the what's the word I'm looking for? It may be directly connected to me, like I may be involved in it, but I'm never the person who causes it, because like I said, I do not like unnecessary drama. Any drama that I may quote unquote cause would be because I spoke up about something, which is one of the reasons why I try not to say anything. Like I try to hold my tongue whenever possible. But sometimes things just get to a certain point where you have to speak on it. So yeah, if I'm causing anything, it's because I tried to put a stop to something else, and it just kind of snowballed in the whatever. But yeah, within my circle, I am usually the voice of reason, or at least one of the voices of reason. I am the one that people come to when they need that honesty. Because like I said, I don't always say anything off the rip, and a lot of my friends know that I'm not saying something. Like they know when I'm not saying something, so they will come to me and be like, say it. Say what you are thinking. I need to know so I know how to move forward. And then that's when I spill. That's when I get you together and tell you what you need to do. Because like I said, I'm very strategic. I move very strategically. I'm kind of like I often tell people, like when we have like those little icebreaker things, they be like, oh, what animal would you be? I always compare myself to a snake, but not in the negative connotation. But I compare myself to a snake because I move very swiftly and I watch everything, and people who don't know me, for whatever reason, they automatically fear me. I think it might be because of my resting bitch face, not even gonna lie. But I have met a lot of people and they've been like, oh, I was so scared to come talk to you. I'm like, why? Like, people are so scared to approach me, but then once they finally do, and I like smile and they start talking to me, they're like, oh, you actually cool peoples. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, what made you think otherwise? Like, people just automatically assume that I'm just like this bitch. And I can be a bitch, but I'm not inherently a bitch. There is a difference. But yeah, like I said, I can be a bitch because sometimes wait, let me give some context. So for anyone who is into astrology and things like that, I've mentioned multiple times throughout this episode that I am a Capricorn, but that's Capricorn sun. I am a Pisces moon and Cancer rising. So anyone that knows, they know that Pisces and Cancer is the two very emotional signs. Very emotional. But because of my Capricorn sun, I often conceal those emotions and I don't let them be known. But I sometimes get to a certain point where I can no longer hold my tongue, and you will feel the bite of that snake, and that venom sinks deep. My shade casts is darker than most eclipses, okay? Which is another reason why I try not to say anything, because when I do, I hurt feelings. But yeah, sometimes I get to a point where I cannot hold my tongue anymore. And I've been trying to work on that. But since this quarantine, since being like kept in captivity, these emotions, like just being stuck in my own head, shit has been fucking with me a lot. And I've been feeling myself biting a lot more. Biting people who I usually would just never ever even think of talking back to, but it has happened since this quarantine. So child, we'll see how that goes. If this podcast, if you don't see any more episodes, it's probably because I done got myself killed. But oh my god. But speaking of the future and continuations, I guess we can conclude this episode with my goals for the future. I see myself performing. Although, like I said, I am still a film major, I don't see myself pursuing a career in film. I see myself performing on stage. I I consider my genre of music hip house. That's just what I call it, because it is a mixture of hip hop and house music, you know, bringing both the Black experience and the queer experience and putting it together, that intersectionality within the music. So I see myself, if I ever were to have mainstream success, I see myself kind of being that, what is the word I'm looking for? That representation. There we go. I see myself representing the queer community within mainstream hip hop, because if you think about it, there are no members of the queer community within mainstream hip hop except for Lil Nas X, which I have my opinions on and will be speaking about in a later episode, because child, my thoughts on Lil Nas X. Yeah, stay tuned for that, because I don't want to go on a whole tangent about that. But yes, I see myself being, I guess I should say, another form of representation, because Lil Nas X represents one part of the community and I intend to represent another part. The outly proud and open, unapologetic from the start. Keyword, from the start. But anyway, I see myself touring the world, performing on stages, and I also see myself doing a lot behind the scenes. I see myself choreographing for other artists, writing for other artists, which I will also be talking about, because the whole writing thing, yeah, I have a story time about that too. But yeah, I see myself writing for other artists. I see myself working with other artists, definitely collaborating a lot more, because I have a lot of ideas, and a lot of my ideas, they don't always come into fruition because I can only do but so much on my own. So I definitely see myself working with other creatives to make those visions happen, and to help other creatives make their visions happen, because sometimes people want to do things, but they just cannot put those ideas, and they can't bring them to reality, or like sometimes they need people to bounce those ideas off of. And I'm often the perfect person to do that. A lot of the community service work that I do is working with organizations and stuff who are looking for youth voices, who are looking for ideas on how to reach people and things like that. So anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But I guess that would be it as far as this very first episode of The Queendom. If you enjoyed what you heard, if you want to hear more of the stories that I teased in this episode, be sure to subscribe on whatever platform it is that you are listening to this on. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of my social media at Quing_D. That is QUING_DEE. I try to keep all of my social medias the same so that I am easier to find. The only one that is different is my Snapchat, because I can't change it. My Snapchat is DJ_Gill. That's just letter D, letter J, _Gill. But yes, definitely be sure to subscribe, follow, how whatever the term is on the platform you're listening on, so that you can stay up to date. Definitely follow me on Instagram, because that is where I keep people updated the most. I'm not as active on Twitter as I would like to be, but I'm definitely more active on Instagram and Snapchat. So follow me on those two platforms. And yeah, I am Dionté. And definitely stay tuned for the next episode. And I will see y'all then. Welcome. If you are a new follower, welcome to the Queendom. Go strut down the runway. Turn looks every damn day. Pay attention when I say, bitch, I'm Dionté. You know that I'm gon' slay. Still young like a baby. Upload and you hit play. Cause bitch, I'm Dionté. Bitch, I'm Dionté. Bitch, I'm Dionté.